Aloha guys, Molly here from Discover the Big Island Real Estate. I'm here with Michael. Michael, he's my referral partner for the east side of Hawaii. Today we're going to be talking about a very, very interesting topic, and it is called planting Pono. Michael, would you like to share what the word Pono means to the audience?
Yes. So for those of you who aren't familiar, Pono just, if you look up the definition for Hawaiian word Pono, it means righteousness,
Yes.
doing what's right. And today we're going to talk a little bit about more what planting Pono means, uh, doing what's right for the Aina, our land,
Our
and,
land.
and, and being cognizant of the plants that we're putting in the ground. Um, this whole idea started several years ago with a group and an organization that now calls themselves Plant Pono.
Mm-hmm.
And their whole purpose is to work with nurseries, local vendors, residents like Mali and I to ensure that the plants that we're planting are Pono. And one could ask, well, what does that mean? Um, it's unfortunate, but we do have quite a bit of invasive species here. And for those on the mainland, you probably have invasive species where you live. You hear people talking about, oh, you might not want to plant that because it will take over your garden.
Right.
That can happen. The certain types of plants may not allow the indigenous, I wish to say,
To thrive.
species to thrive. They overshadow them, and I've seen that on island. I think we talked before about the albizia trees and how quickly they grow.
Right.
Well, in certain areas where I've seen them cut down the albizia trees, I see all these other trees
Oh,
flourish.
right.
And why is that? It's partially because those other trees were, they were shadowing over some of the native and native species that were there. And so once those invasive species were gone, it allowed them a chance to grow. So uh, it, for us, if you are here and you're going to visit, say, a nursery or something like that, you might see a sign. Mally showed at the beginning. I think you had the website up, or
Yeah,
you
I
will
do
bring
have
that
it
up here
up.
and just
Yeah.
for us. You'll see the sign, Plant Pono. You'll see people wearing caps, Plant Pono. And again, it's just an opportunity for us to ensure that we are not introducing invasive species into our environment. Um,
You couldn't have said it more beautifully, Michael. I think that there's very little education happening on the island. People that are, moving to the island that are sometimes unaware of, this, yeah, let's call it a problem, right? That we have where, a lot of people are not planting native plants. Those are going extinct. And sometimes they do not react well with other plants that, are being planted on that specific property. One
mhm.
uh, plant that I'm not gonna talk about it today, but it is the Ohia plant. If you guys want to go out and research a little bit of what's happening with ohia trees. But ohia is a tree that is endangered. When I go to properties and see posts that are made out of ohia, it brings happiness because it's homeowners that are really trying to incorporate local plants into their properties, right? So that those make me really, really happy. I don't know about you, Michael, but every time I
Oh, they
see an
do.
ohia post.
They're absolutely gorgeous. And one thing I think people
Yeah.
don't realize is that the Ohia post actually get denser and harder, stronger over time.
Right.
So if you put one in your house, to support a beam or something like that, it's going to do its job.
Right.
Um, and to your point for that, I had an Ohia tree in my backyard when I first moved here, and there was, I don't know really what the vine was, but there was this vine growing up the tree, and it was pretty much just choking out the Ohia tree.
Oh
Well, I
boy.
took all that down, and the tree just flourished.
Oh
And so,
my gosh.
that's the whole idea of what we're talking about is doing what's right, getting, just ensuring that we are not having the plants that we want to have here compete, have to compete with others for survival.
Right. Harming, right? Harming the local
Right,
plants. Yeah.
right. Um, and for folks here, I'd say one of the biggest things that we usually get questions on is, what can I plant? How quickly can I plant it? Because I want privacy from the road or from my neighbors.
Right.
The whole idea of planting Pono, hopefully we can then bring up the website because there's a whole section that just speaks to what types of plants can you plant to achieve that goal. And they're all plants that we know are good for the INA.
So now, guys, for anybody that is watching, I see a couple of viewers. You could say hi, give us a like or a heart, just so that we make sure to acknowledge your question and your presence. But we have brought up the website, plantpono.org. Here you can find plenty of resources, but to your point, Michael, there's a resource in here where you're able to see privacy hedges. So if you're
Mhm.
unsure on what to plant, there's one that is my favorite. I don't know which one is your favorite. My personal favorite is our Eureka Palms. Those I love, and those
Mhm.
are Pono certified.
Mhm.
So, do you
I
have any
actually have them
favorite?
planted in my yard in the front.
Right.
So
Do you have any favorites, Michael?
let's look at the list, and I think I can pick out a few there because actually I went back and looked at the website the other day, and I thought, oh, there's some out there that I hadn't really thought about before. And although I've planted Eureka palms, I wish that maybe I'd planted some others as
Some
well because
others for
there's
privacy.
a variety. Yeah, I think Eureka's are probably the most popular, as are the Podocarpus. They grow really fast, and the Podocarpus you can trim, so
Right.
you can just let them grow, large bushy trees, or you can trim them so that it's a nice, pristine little hedge. And that's just going to be a matter of personal preference, what you want. But they will grow quickly and
Right.
fast. And it'll give you that visual privacy that you may want from the road or, again, from your neighbors.
Yes. And while I find that page,
Uh-huh.
one thing that I was able to quickly see. I don't know if you guys have seen koa wood plates or koa wood furniture while you're traveling out here. I wanted to point out this beautiful koa tree, and that's that's how big they are. Look at this. Really gorgeous. Really gorgeous tree. But let me go ahead and find the resource for the privacy hedges that I saw at one point and then it got kind of
Yeah,
lost here.
I've got my iPad over here to the side. I can quickly look
Yeah.
as well as I do
Oh,
with that one.
here.
You
Here.
got it?
This is where it was. So there's 14 ideas to figure out a privacy hedge for your new property here in Hawaii. Panax. This ones I like because I like a lot of plants. So if you hear me say I like this one and this one, I like them all. But this one in particular, I like it because it gives several colors as it's growing. Have you seen those, Michael? Like,
I don't I don't know. I was going to pull up my site here real quick just to take a look. When you went to the website up at the top, do you recall where you?
yeah. So you go onto home, and then at
Hmm.
the very bottom, there is a blog post. And so you click where
Ah,
it says 14 hedges for Hawaii. And then is the first one, Panax. I didn't know that the official name, but this one is
okay.
one that I like because it provides several shades of green. So if you have, your home green and you're looking to
Hmm.
accentuate, if you have like a lighter trim or like a darker trim, and you're looking for like something that can complement that your house as far as color goes.
Yes.
This one I really like.
Yeah, no, that is a really beautiful plant
It is
that's
really
growing there. And
pretty.
I, I'd say even though they've got 14, you don't have to stick with just one.
Right,
Get creative
right. There's so
and
many.
and, and make make a hoava, which they say
Hoava.
is a native shrub with a rounded
Have you
shape.
seen this one, Michael? Have
I
you?
have seen this one. I have seen this one, and it's really quite intriguing to look at. I think it's a little sculptural in and of itself,
Right,
and the leaves are a little almost like little waxy looking. So
right. Well, these, of course, are everyone's favorites. Um, these are hibiscus. This is on the hibiscus family, but these are so
yeah,
beautiful too.
I really like the flowering plants, and I think for some folks that's just to have that idea of, like you said, get creative and maybe have a variety of some things and make it sculptural so that you have something. It's not just a fence that you're creating;
Right.
it's a visual statement that you look out at every day, and can just
Yeah,
get
enjoy it.
lost. Right,
Right.
get lost
Well,
in the
I
beauty of
do
it.
see people that are logging on here. If you have um, any favorite plant that we've been pulling up, feel free to let us know. But this one is one of my favorite. Those are Eureka Palms, Michael. These.
Uh-huh.
Love them. They are so gorgeous. They accentuate the entrances and driveways, and they're very versatile, and they require
Hmm.
very little maintenance as far as water goes, but they can get sometimes out of control if you don't know how to plant them properly.
Yeah, yeah, that's the one thing about the plants. They can get really thick and dense, and some places I've seen where they've worked to trim them so that you have the beautiful stalks that grow up, and that creates a little bit of a fence in and of itself, and it's just enough of a visual barrier without being completely cut off.
Right.
So yeah.
So this is the gardenia. This one is gorgeous
Oh
too.
yeah,
The smell of it. Oh my goodness, right,
that's
Michael?
yes. I
Oh,
have gardenia planted at my house, and um, that is one of the that would probably be the ones that I like, just because that whole idea too. It's not just a visual things; it's
oh.
sensory, and so being able to smell and
Michael,
get
one
that
minute.
lovely.
Michael,
Yes,
1 minute. A user online is saying that they cannot see them. So, oh, you see it. Okay.
I see it
Please, God.
now.
Oh
Yeah,
my
for a second
goodness.
there it wasn't, and that's okay. Um,
Thank you.
if you want to, you can
Thank you
scroll
so
back up to
much.
the. Not a
I will love
problem.
to know your name because I cannot see your name, but I would love to know your name, and I wanted to thank you for letting us know. Um, yeah. So this one, Michael. Have you seen this one?
Podocarpus. Yeah, Podocarpus is like that's the one that I said it will grow really fast. Have seen that in my own neighborhood. People have planted, and within 3 years, it's 5 feet tall and completely created that privacy hedge that some folks are looking for. And
Right.
so in here you could augment that maybe with some other planting in front just to create again that visual privacy with maybe some scented flowers we saw before. So that I think that would really be really quite nice.
Right. You know what, and also with here are these are you know what, these are in malls a lot. I don't know if you notice, like, because these are also very easy to maintain. There's also a chemical that they use to stop the growth for them to become
Mhm.
like super bushy and out of control, and it
Mhm.
eliminates a lot of the trimming back of them.
Okay.
But these ones are very common in malls or condominium complexes.
Right.
Yeah. Do you like these, Michael? I like him.
I do, but there's another one that coming up, I think that I like. I actually have in my backyard that we see at the beach. This
These
one
ones
is
are
really
also
nice.
very common. right?
Yeah, very common. The purple, beautiful little purple flowers on them, and they're probably a little slower growing, but it will give you that privacy hedge that you're looking for. Maybe something a little bit lower to create separation
Right.
within your own yard. Bougainvillea. I mean,
Bougainvilleas.
we ours on our side, I don't see them as much, but I have had some friends that have them growing in their yard. I excuse me, I personally would love to have more. I just they're so colorful, and
They are.
just uh, for the folks that are going, over to Conaside or something like that, you'll definitely see a lot of them, and there's so many colors. It just brings a smile to your face when you see them.
Right. Yeah, those are super. Oh, Napakas. These
Naupaka,
guys,
that's one I do like. I have
I
that in my backyard. It's not flourishing a lot, but a lot of people will see these uh, at the beach, at the water's edge, or something like that.
right.
Right as you're leaving from the sandy beach up, up to the parking lot or something like that.
What I
But
love about it is that it's very low maintenance too. Super low
yes,
maintenance. Like if you wanted a
hmm
like really low resilient plant, this one.
uh-huh.
Yeah, Napakas are so beautiful. But you're right, they're found mainly in beaches, right? And state beaches
hmm
all over.
Yeah,
Song of India.
this one. Some people have probably seen this. Now, looking at the flower, it's not the flowers, but just the stems of these. I think if I remember correctly, sometimes they will use these in flower arrangements, pieces and parts of them.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got some growing in my backyard, and some folks coming, if you're from the mainland, some of these things you might see that you probably had them as indoor plants inside your house and didn't even know it, that you were plant Pono on the mainland. You're ready to go.
That is like
Here you
the
can come in and plant them in your backyard.
right? And Michael, I think that's the beauty of living in paradise and being also able to get this type of plants, right? I mean, you get so much
Hmm
variety and they're so beautiful to look at, and everything thrives
Yeah.
out here. This one is my personal favorite. These ones I have in my
Yes.
home. I adore these. They make me so
hmm
happy. What about you, Michael?
I really like them. I have some growing. Uh, They do take a little bit of work. I've got some friends that worked in a greenhouse, and they'll always come over and tell me, "Now make sure you just pinch it right here, where it's." I've never. I'm always afraid I'm going to hurt the plant, but they tell me, "Don't worry about it. You won't hurt the plant." So if you can,
Right.
if you have some patience, or you've got that green thumb, and if you don't have a green thumb, like we said before, get to know your neighbor. They probably do, and can help you to get some of these plants to grow and prosper. But
Right.
yeah,
My
just the flowering,
experience
that's what we love.
our experience with these guys, they love the sun. They like to be watered constantly.
Mhm,
I mean, they're not very weather resilient. You really have to take care of them. But I find that
mhm,
if you get a hold of a really good fertilizer, whatever brand, you just fertilize them
mhm,
frequently. I mean, we
mhm,
have them outside in our driveway. They're irrigated. We put, fertilizer every time we
mhm.
can remember, right? 'Cause busy lives, but
Right,
every time we can remember, but we do have fertilizers with them, and they just, I mean, they're the most beautiful thing to look at. Like,
right.
it's just, adore
We-
those.
Yeah. This one,
These,
the rainbow, how I have a friend up the street. She's got these planted in her front yard, and at first they looked a little scraggly, but now that you know, they're mature, it's created this beautiful privacy fence, and it's just there's they're variegated. There's some color in it. It really, I'm really liking what I see on her yard.
right? It kind of has like these kind of like fall colors a little bit, right?
Mhm. It yes, you know what it reminds me of? Like grape leaves. If you had a
Right.
grapevine with the grape leaves, it's sort of that shape. That's what it reminds me of when I see it.
Right. One thing to just keep in mind, and I don't know if you agree with this, but they do, is there's a lot of rubbish on this ones, right? Like they like to shed often. So just to keep that
Yes.
in mind.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, that's also something that you should add into your parameters. We're searching for privacy hedges. your level of maintenance of them, right? I mean, if you are a weekend warrior, right, and picking up leaves doesn't matter to you, then these options, they will enhance your home and it'll make it look beautiful, but it's just something to take into consideration. If you want something more low key, there's definitely like more low key
Right,
options.
right.
um,
Yeah. Just so, I mean,
that's
this whole
it.
idea of this last picture, yeah, but this last picture gives you an idea of how someone got really creative, as I was talking before. So there wasn't just, a row of Eureka palms. They've added in and augmented with other types of Pono plants, and it creates just this beautiful, just visual stimulation as you enter into your house.
Right.
And yeah, it takes work, but um, it looks good.
Right. I
I
love. And these are tea leaves. Um,
Yes.
they're so, so gorgeous. All right. So, I mean, this resource is going to provide you with a lot of information.
Mhm.
Michael, the people that started this program, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, they do, as a matter of fact, and they've partnered up with a couple of other organizations as well, like the Big Island Invasive Species Committee, which is another resource for plants and planting and stuff like that.
Right.
So, you know, like I said, when you go to the nursery and look around and see, y- y- if you see that sign, plant Pono, well, if you're not too sure, ask about it and start that conversation, that dialogue as to what the plants are and how they might grow for you, things like that,
Right.
because there's definitely some that aren't. And one that comes to mind for me is the Alamanda vine. I don't know if you
Alamanda.
have too many on Kona side. They they have these beautiful yellow flowers and they grow prolific. They're real thick stalks and they're very invasive.
It,
uh, my
it,
backyard was full of them, and they were choking out the trees. They look really great, and unfortunately, some I've seen them in pots at stores,
oh.
and you sort of shake your head. And you can buy those because
They're gonna be
it's going.
massive.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, unless
Are
if it's
those
really
are those the ones that kind of convert into like a wooden flower?
no,
No.
no. I know which one you're talking about. I think it's the
Yeah.
monkey. That might be the monkey pod that does that. That
Yeah.
when it sort of blooms, it opens up like this and just
Right.
sort of
It
sits
kind
on
of
the ground.
shrinks into
Really
like
hard.
a wood flower or something like
Yes,
that. Yeah.
really hard sell. But again, this is a great resource. I A while ago we used to do this little, I guess it was a workshop at the mall for like first time home buyers. And one of the things I had worked on with this group at one point was to create a little flyer that just listed out so that people could have a takeaway with them, uh,
Yes.
which was really great. So, I would pass those out from time to time to clients and just say, well, if you're interested in planting, here's some consideration,
Right.
something to
Here's a
think about.
resource. That is
Hmm.
awesome. Well,
Yeah.
guys, really hope that you were able to take notes and on your own time explore this website that Michael has brought up to our Thursday updates for the east side of Hawaii. So we're going to be moving on to properties that are on the east side. That let me see. Let me go ahead and find the MLS's numbers. So we're going to be sharing a couple of listings to you. Okay. All right.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this is right along the Red Road. And for folks that don't know the Red Road, it got its name initially because it was red cinder. And, people would drive down the road and just stop in their cars and talk story and sit there. Cars would come up behind them and you know, you kindly move over and they'd continue their conversation. The road's now paved, but this property is close by the ocean. Uh, there's actually two small structures. One is a one bedroom, and then the other one is like a large efficiency with a little kitchen in it. Uh, great opportunity for somebody that wants a property with two structures, uh, where they could have guests come and stay.
Or you can do hosted vacation rentals, right?
Yes, yes, you could.
Oh, guys, look at this. Look
Uh,
at this
yeah,
entrance. I mean, if you
it's
had an STVR, if you had a short term vacation rental property on here, like, oh, no, I'm sorry, not short term, but if you were doing hosted, imagine your guests like going into the property to stay at your place.
oh
Like,
yeah,
wow. Oh, so that's a
yeah,
cottage.
yeah. There's like I said, there's two structures on it. So it would be an opportunity to have that hosted vacation rental if you wanted, and
That is
an opportunity
gorgeous.
to earn some income.
That
Just
is
super cute,
beautiful.
you know. And not everybody's moving here that they want to be in a large structure, but they might also be looking for just an opportunity for some additional income, and this might be uh, just the right thing for someone.
Right. I mean, if you're coming in to retire, right?
Hmm.
And for some folks, I mean, some come semi-retired, right? And they
Hmm.
still want to do something. This can be
Right.
a perfect fit, right? You come in semi-retired, open up your cottage, invite guests, put
Hmm.
it on VRVO. You're doing hosted. You're good with the county. No permit required. If you're doing hosted vacation
Yeah.
rentals. Oh yeah, this is I Michael. This looks really like a vacation rental.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
it,
I have some. I have some clients here now, and I was hoping that this might get on their list for something to see.
oh totally. I mean, look at this. This is
Yeah.
gorgeous. This is beautiful, Michael. What a beautiful share.
Just look at some of those plants.
These are crotons, and there's
Yes.
different varieties of them. Um,
Hmm.
but some tend to be, like super colorful, like these guys, and some are
Hmm.
just, yellow and green. They're really beautiful. Oh, Michael, look at this.
Just a wonderful little. That's the other cottage. So it's got space for guests, two beds, a nice little lanai to sit out on and enjoy coffee in the morning, uh, lunch in the afternoon, and then the grounds are just. I just look at that and just think it's just I could just stroll through there, just walk around.
This is
That's the kitchen in a smaller unit.
beautiful.
Isn't it just adorable?
Yeah, this is so
It really kind of
gorgeous.
embodies the spirit of what you might think, and you know, some orchids growing there on the tree.
Yeah. And this is also very common, right, Michael, for people that are
Hmm.
not familiar with like,
Yes.
and they grow so easily. I mean, in certain parts of the island,
Hmm.
but I've seen people that really, um, they know exactly how to put them I have not done that personally,
Hmm.
but I've seen people do it very successfully and they say, "Oh, it's easy." I've not tried it, but that
Oh, it's
looks so
well. You'll need to, and you can report back to us here one day.
right.
I've done on some of my trees, and it takes a little while for them to establish. But once they get going, then you just have this just really nice surprise when you go out there and like, oh, the orchids, it's blooming. How
Right.
beautiful. Yeah.
Well, guys, this property happens to be in Puna, and Michael
Hmm.
services that area of the island. If oh, we got hearts and likes. Hi, guys. So, and Michael happens to services that side of the island. If you need to see this property or need more details on the property, Michael will be more than happy to show you around. But it seems, yeah, I don't see. Oh, I don't see a the like financing, but it really looks like it's set up for rental. It is gorgeous,
Hmm.
beautiful find. 625, going for 625.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so let me go ahead and share the other MLS. All right. Wow.
Uh,
Gorgeous.
this property is located in Nonavalia Estates. And just like the other property, they're both lava zone 2. This one came on the market a while ago and is just, it's architecturally significant. Uh, you, a lot of thought has gone into the design of this home. I didn't have a chance to look at all the plants, but as we go scroll through the
Wow.
photos, you can tell it was very thoughtfully designed,
Oh,
and it was
totally.
meant not just to, to the house itself is almost a piece of art, but from the inside looking out, it just every window frames a view.
Right.
Yeah. Beautiful
Yeah.
grounds, very well maintained.
Oh, wow.
Nice little outdoor, covered lanai space to be with your guests.
Here on the islands, we love lanais. We love him.
Mhm.
And this one has a really cool one.
Yes, it's so look how that window it just frames
Wow.
the palm and everything up there. It's just again just very thoughtfully laid out, thoughtfully designed.
Even the furniture, I wonder if the furniture is included.
I don't know if it is, but it's sort of that mid-century modern take on what you would expect for a house like this.
I can totally see the person here sipping wine in
Yeah.
here, just like,
Uh-huh. Oh yeah,
they set the picture here and
yeah.
wow, look.
It's just. I mean, you wouldn't want to leave. Why? You just sit there and look out your window. I mean, it's
You
absolutely
don't need
gorgeous.
picture frames here.
No, no, not at all. I mean, it's funny you say that because I don't. Rec- they've got some pieces of art, but they're just, small pieces. The rest of it, those have framed the view
Wow.
and have created their own artwork. Functional kitchen,
Yeah,
just nice and open, quite a bit of storage available. I like the way, and not everybody's like this, but I personally like the fact that they don't have a lot of upper cabinets because it just makes the space feel larger.
that's
And then
true.
they've provided at least opportunity for additional storage over to the side, and
Right.
that's just a great use of space.
Right. No, and I also love the skylight over here at the
Yes,
top. So beautiful.
just
Yeah, very
natural light,
clean.
an
I mean,
abundance.
they could have opened the windows, right? I mean, they have
Yeah,
just to kind of
yeah.
follow the flow of the home, but
Mhm.
I mean, it is gorgeous. It is so pretty. Wow, look at that. Or they probably wanted the living room to be like the focal
The
point.
focal point. That could
Yeah,
very well be. Yeah, yeah. And it's funny because this house is in Nonavalia Estates, and because of the way they think they have it setting on the property and with all the landscape around it, I don't think you can see the house from the street. So we're talking when you're talking privacy, you've got privacy. I
right.
personally have never seen the house from the street for that very reason, and I've gone into the neighborhood many
Right.
times.
And you have not seen this one. Yeah, it's kind of tucked
No,
in the corner.
no.
Very beautiful. Wow. Yeah, look at this bathroom.
Isn't that just gorgeous?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is so clean
Great.
and they really yeah, and it's got like an impactful entryway, right? I mean,
Mhm.
yeah, you don't see these type of homes in Hawaii. For the
No.
most part, they're plantation style,
Mhm.
right?
Yes, yes.
Michael, this is an amazing, amazing find. So I'm going to put details of the MLS here. If you guys are interested in learning more about this property, Michael can provide you with more details. Property is at 425,000. It is in Puna. And he may be able to provide you more information on
Oh,
exactly where
yes.
the property is located. But, Michael, I'm pretty sure you've been on your bike or somewhere, because
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
Michael is so active for everyone listening here. He has been involved in what is it, Michael? Iron
Oh,
Man, Iron
yes,
Man,
the
right? And
three
yeah,
Iron Man
so just
competitions.
that.
Yeah.
So he's
The
always
the the
roaming
first
neighborhoods.
the first property that we saw, Red Road, I do ride my bike down there quite often. So
Right.
it's a beautiful beautiful ride right along the ocean. You know, absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, this is just a beautiful architecturally designed home. I'm sure it will take its the right owner for it, but I really like it. I
Yeah,
really like.
I love love love. Michael, I want to share with the audience. We're talking about the east side of Hawaii, but I just clicked submit on a listing just today, an hour ago. But it is on preview
Okay.
status. It is in preview, and for anybody watching here, this property is not broadcasted onto the MLS, but it is on preview status, so I'm able to mark it as long as it is on the MLS. But this one just went live today. It is in Wildlife Farms. If you are looking for a beautiful estate in Kona, this is in Kona. Let me know. This is Wildlife Farms, Michael. Have you explored or like heard on Wildlife Farms? It's
I
up in
have not. I have
Holualoa,
not.
high elevation. The property sits on 5 acres of land, and it just went live today, but live as preview. It'll be going live tomorrow. It is a little bit of a fixer upper, but the views from this property is just incredible. Um, Wildlife Farms is a gated subdivision, and the maintenance fees are very very low. But the views and the acreage, I mean, if you want to be in Kona and with 5 acres to play with, this may be the property for you, and you can feel free to email me or call me about this specific property. But
Oh, look at that. Ocean views. Oh, how nice is
Michael,
that?
it's dreamy. Like, the views from the lanai. I'll show you the lanai in a minute here. Let me
Did
go
they
back
have
here.
did they have county water?
They
They have
have
pipe water?
private. This one is
Okay.
private. They have private wells. Um,
Okay.
this feature right here is a hydroponic system. So,
Okay.
you're able to plant, your lettuce or tomato or whatever you want to plant there. You can get it going. There's also, for anybody watching here, there's also a pig that is included. Of course, we're not selling animals, but the pig is in the property. Her name is Butterfly. So she loves to roam this property, loves it. But look, Michael,
Wow.
5 acres, five
Five
acres
acres.
in Kona. It is
Wow.
dreamy. It is so so beautiful.
What
Um,
is the elevation up at that point?
this one is 2,000.
2,000.
2,000. Yeah, so it is cool. It gets cool in the mornings. This place has a fireplace too for those chilly days where you feel that you need a fireplace. The inside of the home is all cedar. Um, but there's items, the property does need I mean, here's the inside.
Mm-hmm.
The flooring needs replacement. But the property itself and where it's located is just a dream.
Yeah.
Um,
Is that all? That's all redwood inside?
yes, this is cedar.
Okay.
It is my
Okay.
understanding that
Cedar.
it's cedar.
Okay. Well, for folks that don't know, I mean, homes that are built out of redwood and cedar are a little bit at a premium. My understanding is termite resistant.
Right. That is
So,
so so true. And specifically in Holualoa, it rains a lot, right? So that's one thing that people, um, you know, they kind of make those homes for to protect from the elements,
right,
right?
right. Yeah,
Um,
many of the older style homes were built like that for that very reason. So
right,
when people see it, they might think, "Oh, it's a lot of dark wood," but it was purposeful.
right. Yeah, and these are the views from the lanai. So it is a
Wow.
beautiful property. Um, super spacious. It's got a cottage also. But yeah, I mean, the interior, and it's all circular. It's got those circular features that you don't see
Hmm.
often in properties. So it's
Oh
got
wow,
this
I like
circular
that.
room,
That's fun.
right? So yeah, pretty cool and interesting property, but it is in need of a little bit of a TLC. But if you are
Mhm.
in need of a large property, feel free to give me a ring. But yeah, lots of space in here, and this is a cottage that is next to the.
Oh, see, that's a bonus right there.
That is a bonus,
Everybody, I can't tell you how many people are looking for, you know, a property that they can have an ohana on for family,
right?
guests.
Yeah, I mean it's yeah, you can put your extended family there or make it a kids room or just
Mm-hmm.
lots of possibilities, but you can see the TLC part, right? I mean, there's things that
Oh,
you need
that's
that are needed to be addressed, but I mean, other than that, it's a gorgeous property. And with that, we are leaving this live stream. 'Cause
well,
but but
I hope
yeah,
I
tell
hope that
me.
what we gave everybody is, something, at least to think about. And as when you move here and you start to think about what you want to plant, uh, go to some of those resources, or, call Mally and myself, and let's just talk story. But I think that will help, um, for the island to continue to flourish, forever.
Right. I think that that is so true, Michael. I think that if somebody were to, did a takeaway from this conversation is to just plant Pono. Come to the if you're moving to the island and you're in that transitional period. I really hope that you found this information helpful. But
Hmm.
it's one thing to hear the information and another one to apply it, right?
Hmm.
So if
Hmm.
right, so if you watched something from here, I really hope that you put it into work and find a
Hmm.
native plant perhaps next week to plant in your yard to
Right.
help the ecosystem. And you have
Hmm.
the resources, you have a website, there's no excuses for you not to plant something that it'll benefit you and the environment because you're gonna gain a beautiful plant to look at in the mornings, and this plant is going to be thanking you because it is now going back into the ecosystem and thriving where it needs to be, right?
Right, right. Well, and I would encourage folks, when they do and they plant, send us a picture. We'd love to see what you do.
Yes, post them in the group. Feel free to post them in the
Uh-huh.
group. We
Yeah.
love to see updates. I
Hmm.
love that idea, Michael. You're right. I will love also to like see pictures once you
Hmm.
plant. But if you have any questions or if you want to in touch or hold of us, you have plenty of links on how to communicate to Michael and myself. But for now, we say aloha. We hope that you
Aloha.
have a gorgeous day, and we will talk story in our next live stream that is happening next Thursday.
Yep.
All right.
Oh, talk to you guys soon. Aloha.
Bye, guys.